Need a little bit of coffee today. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hi, my name is Angela and I'm a mom of two beautiful babes, and I'm here to share my home, heart, and faith with you ladies. And in today's video we are going to be talking about what I wish I knew about postpartum. This video is also in collaboration with my good friend here on YouTube. Her name is Stephanie. She also shares a whole bunch of motherhood type content. She has an adorable little baby girl named Gigi. I know you guys are going to love her. She's just so sweet and genuine, and she just shares like all the realistic things about motherhood as well. But yes, please go check out her video after you are done with mine. I will have her video linked below so you can watch that one as soon as you are finished with mine. Alright, so before I get into all of the things I want to talk about what I wish I knew about postpartum, I do just want to talk about one thing. So if you're pregnant, or you're trying to get pregnant, or you're like ready to have your baby, whatever stage of life you're in, I want you to know that I'm sharing this just to help you feel better in that stage. I'm not sharing this to try to scare you or freak you out or anything like that. I myself didn't watch anything like this before I had kids. I just figured like, oh, you have a baby and everything's fine. And in reality, it's not quite like that. There's a lot of things that happen postpartum that people just don't share and talk about. So I just wanted to share those things with you ladies and help you feel more comfortable, and also know that you're not going through this weird, stinky, exhausted, awkward, what the heck is happening stage all by yourself. If that sounds like your kind of motherhood content, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you do not miss a video. I post a new video every single week. If you're a mama and you need some coffee, go ahead, grab your coffee, and let's hang out and talk about all the things I wish I knew about postpartum. First thing I wanted to talk about is just how weird that postpartum stage is. Like, you just feel so high on life, but so like dead exhausted at the same time. Like, depending on your situation, you could have just labored for like 2 days and you're so tired, but then you also have this cute, adorable little baby that you just want to like hold and hold and hold forever. But yes, this right after baby's born postpartum stage, the new term for it is the 4th trimester. It's so weird. All of your friends and family members are coming over and they're checking on the baby and they're asking about the baby and how is he or she sleeping? Is she sleeping more than 2 hours? Are you waking him or her up? They're asking all these questions about the baby, and you're like, hey, I'm still a human. I still need love. I still need care. So I just wanted to remind you of that you are beautiful, mama. You're doing a great job. You got this. I think that is one thing people kind of forget about. Like, you just went through a traumatic experience. You delivered a baby. That's a lot of work. Let's talk about the other things I wish I knew about postpartum. Oh gosh, guys, there's so many things. Honestly, I had 2 different types of postpartum experiences with one of my children. I had a C-section, and with the other one I had natural labor. So I've seen both sides of it, and they both have weird stages and all these different things that come along with it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, what I wish I knew about postpartum, is the cramps and pain. I seriously felt like I was in labor for like 2 weeks after I had my kids. I can't really remember if the pain was worse with my second, but I have heard that like as you have children, the cramps and stuff get worse and worse. I don't know if I have any more children. I'll let you know about that. But with Alea, I had a C-section, so the first couple weeks I was taking pain medication. I don't remember a ton, but I know it was in a lot of pain, and the cramping every time that they breastfed was so much worse. And like, it makes sense. The baby's gone. Your uterus doesn't need to be that big anymore, so it's shrinking down and all of that. But I want to be like, body, listen, it took 9 months to make that baby. You don't gotta shrink down in 2 days, okay? It's not like I'm trying to look cute for someone 2 days after I had a baby. Like, no thank you. And the second thing that I wish I knew about postpartum that no one told me was how it affects your entire body. Like, everyone talks about the pain down there, and you know, if they tore, or how it like hurts to go to the bathroom, but no one talks about how it hurts your whole dang body. Like, it's not just pain down there. It's pain in your stomach, it's pain in your boobs, it's pain in your shoulders, it's pain everywhere, because your body just labored for hours and then you delivered a child. That is rough, you know? And when you are trying to push that kid out, like, you're using every muscle in your body to push that baby out. So of course your muscles are going to be sore, especially if you're like me and you don't work out very often. If you know what I'm talking about, give this video a thumbs up. But for me specifically, I had a lot more back pain than I was expecting, and I had a really hard time sitting up even after my second child. So I don't know if that's because of the C-section and I had my kids so close together. They are only 13 months apart. That may play a part in it because I had a C-section. I don't really have abs or anything, but it was rough. I think that was probably like the one thing I was not expecting that totally just like blew me out of the water. The third thing I wanted to talk about postpartum, the night sweats. There was some days I would wake up and literally I thought I had a fever because I was like covered and drenched in sweat. Sometimes I wanted to shower at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And you know, as a new mom, like everyone always talks about it, but you don't get to shower very often. Honestly, you get so busy you forget the last time you took a shower. I swear I felt like my body was doing a marathon in my sleep. And I don't know where that comes from. I've heard a lot of breastfeeding mamas talk about that. So if you did not breastfeed and you still had night sweats, leave us a comment and let me know. I'm really, really curious to actually know about that. The night sweats are totally normal. So if you're waking up in the morning and you're like, wow, I smell like I just worked out for 4 hours, it's totally okay. It happens to all of us. If you are enjoying the tips that I'm sharing so far in this video, make sure you hit that like button. The fourth thing I wanted to talk about with postpartum is postpartum hair loss. And yes, people talk about this, but they don't explain it. Like I would take a shower and I would run my fingers through my hair like this, and I'm not kidding you, I would have like tons. This is just one piece, but I would have tons of hair. And I was like, this cannot be normal. This is insane. I feel like I'm losing half of my hair, but it's totally normal. It's totally okay. So one thing I found out after doing a bunch of research about it, because I was like, I'm gonna go bald, I'm losing all of my hair. And I was the person who always lost a significant amount of hair even before having kids. So for me to be like freaking out over it was really scary. The one thing that I learned is around like the 3rd trimester, your body just stops shedding hair because it's doing other things. It's like, whatever, you can hold on to that hair. So then you're like about to have the baby and you have, oh my gosh, the thickest, nicest, prettiest hair you've ever had, and you're like, wow, I am loving this, let it stay. And then the baby's born and your body's like, oh wait, you're supposed to shed like anywhere from 40 to 100 hairs a day, and we totally forgot about that. So you know what, you're just gonna lose it all like right now. And you go to shower and you're just pulling out clumps of hair and you're like in the shower crying in the corner because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look so ugly, I'm gonna have no hair left. But it's totally normal. It happens to everyone. And just remember that every day you should typically lose anywhere from 50 to 100 hairs. So especially if you're going like 2, 3, 4, 5 days without washing your hair, it's gonna seem like a lot more at once. I know for myself, I only wash my hair once a week, so it was like the wildest thing after having my kids. And I was like, even knowing now that it's a thing, it still would like trip me up when I would see how much hair I was actually getting rid of in the shower. But one thing I did learn is, since I do not wash my hair every single day, is I started brushing my hair at least every day, and it helped because that hair going down your drain is no good. So you want to try to eliminate that. So just give your hair a little brush once or twice a day and it'll pull out some of those strands that are falling out as well. The 5th thing that I wanted to talk about that I wish I knew about postpartum that no one shares is the emotions. Like everyone jokes and talks about how, you know, pregnant women are so emotional and blah blah blah. Like, of course our hormones are freaking jumping through hoops, they're doing roller coasters, like they don't know what's going on, so of course we don't know how to act. I think my hormones were worse postpartum than they were like during pregnancy. I seriously felt like I was on the most emotional roller coaster of my life. Like I would cry over things and I would be like, why am I crying over this? I'm not going to say I cried over spilt milk, because I have. And if you're a breastfeeding mom, you know what I'm talking about. You will cry over that spilled milk because it's a lot of work getting that milk out of you. I digress. But I was a hot mess with those emotions both times. It was so bad with the emotions. Like I would go from being super happy to crying to screaming to happy to, I don't even know. It was just like way worse. Way worse. I cannot be the only one. If you had the same experience where your emotions were worse postpartum, leave me a comment below and let me know. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is how lonely it can be. And I know that with the whole pandemic and everything, like, it made things very different. You didn't have a lot of people coming to visit you, and that may still be the case now if you're watching this currently and having a kid. I don't know. I know I had my son like mid-pandemic, and obviously we couldn't have visitors and things like that. So in my mind, I sort of expected like more text messages, at least, of people checking on me like, hey, how's it going, things like that. And I never really got anything like that. Like, I had a few close friends checking in and things like that. Even with my first kid, we had a lot of people that wanted to visit about that first 4 to 6 weeks, and then after that, like, only those really truly close friends were the ones that cared and checked up on me. And I don't say this to like knock anyone or anything like that. I just think that sometimes in life people get too busy and they don't quite understand how hard those first few months are. And you really just, it's comforting when someone sends you a text like, hey girl, thinking about you, or hey mama, hope you're doing okay, you know? So if you're having a baby and like all of your friends have kids, you might be fortunate and they might remember how rough that stage was and be really good friends to you. But honestly, in my own experience, it's super lonely. Everyone has lives, people have jobs and different things like that. So it's to be expected. I just didn't expect it to be as lonely as it is. And I'm also a stay-at-home mom, so I don't have that extra interaction of going to work and having adult conversations. I talk to a toddler, a baby, and a dog most days, so it's super extra lonely. But it really is like the greatest thing ever. I wouldn't change it for anything. I love being a stay-at-home mom, and I do not share this to terrify you or have you think like, okay, it's gonna be so lonely being a stay-at-home mom, I don't want to do it. It's not my thing at all. I just want to share it, so if you are feeling super lonely, you know that's totally normal. And on that note, if you are feeling super sad and lonely, just reach out to somebody. They may not understand what you're going through, and postpartum depression can creep up out of nowhere, so please make sure you are watching that as well. I have 2 more things that I wanted to talk about that I wish I knew about postpartum, and the second to last thing is how you're allowed to rest. Do I need to say it again? You are allowed to rest. There's this stigma around having the perfect house and everything needs to be clean and everything needs to be put into place. Like when our friends come over, we're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, it's such a mess. There's like 2 dishes in the sink. I'm so sorry. Yes, we live here. We have children. If you're like me, you have a toddler and a baby, and there's probably toys all over the place. You do not need to stress about your house being perfectly clean, especially when you have a newborn. I know when the baby sleeps, they say sleep when the baby sleeps, but it was really hard for me to actually sleep, especially when I was home alone. I tried to just rest as much as I could when the baby slept. I still use that as my time to get certain things done, because there are some housework duties that you can't just keep pushing off. But I don't want you to think that every single time your baby's sleeping, you should be sleeping and doing nothing, or you should be doing everything. Like, there needs to be a balance. And when I say you need to rest, I mean like chill on the couch, watch some TV, read a book, scroll through social media, whatever kind of hobby thing you did for fun before you had children. Just do something to like calm your brain down, shut it off, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. Just take some time to rest, because you do need it. Your body is still healing. You went through a traumatic thing and you definitely need that time to rest. So don't forget to take some rest, mama. Take some rest, mama. I needed someone to yell it in my ear when I had kids, so that's why I'm doing it for you. Take some rest and don't feel guilty. And on that note, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the mom guilt. Yo, the mom guilt is so real and it's so hard to deal with. Like, sometimes it happens over the silliest things. Like, sometimes I will put my child down and have her watch TV because I'm just so drained and I just need a break. And especially when you have kids closer together and their naps are off and you have one sleeping while the other's awake and one eating while the other's not, and it's like you're constantly being pulled every which way, you need a few moments. So I would put TV on for her a lot when Ezekiel was little, and I would feel so bad. Like, if I didn't have enough playtime with her each day, I was like basically crying at the end of the day because I felt like I was depriving my child. I tried really hard to have that special time with her and everything, but the guilt would just kick in. I've never had guilt like that before in my life. It is the hardest thing to deal with, but you have to understand you still need that time for yourself. You still need to be able to pee by yourself or take 5 minutes to drink some water or eat some warm food, whatever it is. The mom guilt is real. It's there. I don't know if it ever goes away. You just gotta find a way to kind of release that from yourself. I still have a really hard time with it with certain things. I have learned to kind of let it go, but I'm still not quite there yet. If you have any tips about dealing with mom guilt, leave a comment below and let us know. I'm sure we would all love to see that. I hope you guys liked all the things I shared about what I wish I knew about postpartum. If you liked it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed everything that I'm sharing in this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications. Don't forget to go check out Stephanie's video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next one. I love you. Bye!